Hello, and welcome to another exciting piece of content from Griffiths and Thompson. Today, we are reading for the first time, at least for a while, the very first script, the very first draft of Make-A-Wish.
Oh, well, what would become Make-A-Wish?
What would become, because at the moment it's simply called Zippo. Not incredibly original, but there we go.
I've never seen a film called Zippo.
So you're saying that we should...
I still haven't seen it.
No.
Because it's called Make-A-Wish now.
You never will. This draft was apparently, according to this, done in March, and it's literally the first draft. So there's going to be a lot. I imagine there'll be.
I hope so.
Quite a lot of different.
This will be a boring video.
It will be very boring, and we just pretend it never happened.
So I'll do the stage directions. Ray Zippo the Clown Johnson. That's a bit of a mouthful of a name. 47, dishevelled, unkempt. Tired, hurries along the street holding up a crudely drawn map to the face in one hand and a weathered suitcase in the other. Now already that's quite interesting that we had an exterior location.
Yeah.
Because I'll read the rest, but we have like a build-up which is nowhere to be seen anymore. He reaches a reasonably tidy house with balloons adorned to the front. He compares them to the ones drawn on the map and concludes he's at the right building. Ray throws away the map, recovers his breath, and rings the doorbell. As he waits, he sniffs his armpits, then his breath, then he then glances around and spots a fuel can, which pulls him into a trance until... I'm going to say I'm glad we got rid of the very obvious fuel can there.
Are you saying it's not on the nose enough?
I think it's past the nose. I think we're looking at Pinocchio territory here. The door is opened by Claire Boons.
Right. Well, it's not Claire Boons.
It's not Claire Boons anymore. It's Colin.
It's Colin. Yeah.
And he hasn't even got a surname.
No.
I don't think. Not confirmed anyway.
Just Colin.
Just Colin.
That's all he needs, really.
So Claire Boons, 41, confident, proud, boring. She's unimpressed. Somebody that my mum works with.
Right. Okay.
Was what I had in my head when I was writing Claire, and then mashed into Colin eventually, because I think we had a few casting issues, so we reevaluate the script. And I think it was about balance.
Yeah, and it kind of worked almost accidentally well because of what Colin's character became, because you had quite a good idea on how he sounded, what he was like, but also the set design as well. And that kind of fed into like his whole, what we hoped would be his aesthetic.
If you look in the background, you can see like the sort of approach to modern art that people who have no idea what modern art is.
Yeah. Kind of
basically
like script writers approaching script writing and having no idea.
Well, approaching set design and
basically everything, isn't it?
Scooby. But I think it worked quite well. But yeah, that's Claire became Colin.
We also had, I think, because we were quite set in the number 9-esque of it, we had obviously the exterior would allow us to do a number 9.
Yeah,
on the door,
which we actually don't have. I mean, the 9 became the 9th birthday rather than a number 9 flat.
So Ray's at the door. Claire answers. So sorry, the bus had to stop for an injection.
Right.
Diabetes.
Well, the kids won't be back for another 20 minutes. Ample time for you to prepare.
Ample. That's interesting. Also, I remember having that injection joke in there for a while. And it was
not a fan.
It was a very big reach, and I totally get that. It's been a while. Not that I've forgotten anything. Still a fool with a tool. A clown without a throne. A joker without a...
Weird Sicily.
Poker. So that's all in the...
That's still there, and I'm glad it's there. I think it's very much that kind of try-hard wannabe, like having something to say in the conversation but saying too much.
It works better with Colin though, because Colin's, he's sort of anti-Ray in a way. He's big and he's loud and he's...
Yeah. So I think that contrast, whereas Claire was, it says boring, but she's not particularly stuck up. She's more like proper, if you will. Claire, I appreciate you stepping in. I'm extremely disappointed with the last one dropping out.
Illness?
Yeah. Cancer. Again, same joke.
Yeah.
I think it works better with Colin though. I don't know why. It's because, like you say, he's big and he's brash and he's in the face. And
as long as he gets me back in the office.
We'll have to talk about that with your probation officer.
So that was some not so subtle exposition.
Yeah.
That feels a bit messy now and it feels a bit
Doesn't
hard to
quite
grasp.
work.
Another
pause. Well, I'll let you get on. Should only be 20 minutes, but you'll be fine. Claire grabs a coat and bag from behind the door and walks past Ray out onto the street. So again, this is imagined as if it's on the doorstep still.
Yeah, all in the doorway, yeah.
Which would have been a nightmare to film. Claire continued laughing. So long as you don't go and set the house on fire. Ray has a morbid expression as she leaves out of sight. What's the morbid expression?
I don't know, I started shaking then. I don't know what you... but just like a... I'm not trying to out-act our actors, by the way. Just
Nobody thought you were. After a moment of deliberation, he enters the house. Ray solemnly enters a bland living room. Both the buffet table and the sad-looking balloons reinforce the dullness. At the centre of the table, an unremarkable cake skewered by a number 6 candle. I think we got the... I think the buffet was a big point of contention at some point. Especially when we were on set the second day.
Yeah.
And it was the same buffet.
It's pretty horrific.
We left and it was not great. We had to freshen it up with a spritz of water.
Febreze on it.
Yeah.
We just sprayed. We're like, not that anyone was ever going to eat these covered up sandwiches.
No, it was
but
never
we're like, now
the
please
case.
don't, because they've been coated with Febreze.
That was the deterrent.
Crispy ham.
Undeterred, Ray opens his suitcase, revealing an assortment of clown paraphernalia, including a rugged, well-worn clown costume. Ray lifts the costume up and looks up in horror at the light scorch marks. He hears flames.
I think we should have kept in. If we had more time, I think we should have scorched the clown costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's still some scorching. Is this where we talk about the incident?
Exclusive for
Yeah.
anyone who's stuck around.
Anyone who's stuck around for this. In the suitcase, there is a book, which you never see any real detail on, like the name of the book and the blurb on the back. We did all of that, and you can't see any.
It's just
of
a background prop.
It's just a background prop, and I put way too much effort into it. And then I decided on the day that I would sort of scorch the edges of it so we could leave it in there as a little clue. Now I nipped out whilst we were filming, or whilst we were setting up to film, and I sort of singed the edges outside. And then I hurried inside. I didn't really sort of wait for it to settle down or anything. So I came in, I put the prop in place, left it, it was all fine. And then, I mean, you can...
So we're all in the midst of filming. It's very tight. We are running around because, we've got a very small crew. We haven't got a lot of time. It's like boom, boom, boom. You got to set up. You got to get rolling. So I haven't really, no offense, I haven't really acknowledged that you've left.
No.
You've just kind of gone off. You're busy. Whatever. We're all busy. And I didn't even know you came back. And we're getting ready, and we've got someone on doing the lights and things, and we're using gels on lights, and the lights are very hot, and I can smell burning. So I say, right, I can smell burning, and then kind of you start to panic because you're in the studio, you're dealing with, like I said, hot lights and gels, and you never know, what's going on, what could be causing a burning smell. So then everyone begins to panic, rushing around the set, all the lights go off, we turn on the house lights, we're like, shit, everyone freeze, pause, we gotta find out, what is this burning? Like, I'm freaking out because I think that's all we need is the studio to have a fire, because then we are absolutely knackered. And then you just come over to me in this midst of chaos, very calmly, very close.
I think my words were actually, because I don't know if I was involved in the panic. I think I came over and went, what do you think of that?
Yeah.
Like, I was proud of the,
you were
the way
so
it singed,
unaware
and I was like,
of people running around you. Like, it was it was quite funny afterwards, but it was.
In the moment it was. I felt bad for a
Anyway.
little bit, but yeah, there's your
Moving
little
on.
anecdote.
Yeah.
So he hears flames, bang, The pop of a balloon breaks his trance. He looks to see the number 6 candle lying within the remains of a destroyed balloon. From his angle, it reads as a 9. He stares at it with hesitation.
So now we've got the voiceover, which we've mentioned before. Originally, the flashbacks were just going to be in voiceover and sort of added sound effects, but obviously
So glad we
completely expanded that into something else. So this is voiceover. And how old is the birthday boy today? Birthday boy? Sorry, is that a mistype? I don't know.
No.
Please explain to the boys and girls.
The boys and girls. So Ben was originally the original Susie.
Yes, we've gender swapped two characters.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it was the balance. I think we decided on Susie first, and then we decided to swap Claire into
I think
Colin.
it was apparently down to casting, right? I think it was just finding the right person.
Yeah. It makes a little bit more sense. Like having a princess party is a nice contrast to like the horrors.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big factor of it.
And there's less stories about father and daughters than there is father and sons.
Yeah, I think that was another thing that we were keen to sort of look into. Ben, voiceover, young and embarrassed. Dad.
Zip, zip, zippo knows it's a 9.
Ray unceremoniously stabs the number 9 back into the cake. So he stabs it back as a 9. I hope that comes across in the film still, because I like that idea that he's not currently at a 9th birthday party, he's at a 6th birthday party, and we play with the upside down 6 and 9, which is they do that a lot.
As we learnt though, candles, when you flip them around, they're not
candles anymore.
They're not meant to have a sort of yeah, because it's slotted, because the cake was spoilers, not real. It kind of stuck in, didn't it?
Yeah, I built that cake.
It kind of slotted in.
It's made out of foam and just to ruin the magic for you, it's made out of blocks of foam and
I thought it tasted funny.
sealant. The frosting is made out of sealant, piping bag. Yeah. I was very proud of that. Anyway, moving on. I remember when we wanted to make it like 3 layers big, and I didn't have enough foam, so I made like a really bad cylinder out of cardboard. I was like, no, that's not.
It's like a wedding cake.
Yeah. Interior home day. Moments later, Ray now. How's that changed? Oh, it's just a jumping time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We always had problems with cutting, didn't we, to Ray, like being in clown version. For a while, we were struggling to find a kind of a cue for him to change, but I think
lucky when we developed the puppets. I think that's where it happened. Ray now dresses Zippo the clown, spins around and addresses an empty room.
Hey there, everyone. Hello, everybody. It's me, Zip, Zip, Zippo.
A balloon deflates like a wet fart. Ray looks out into the empty room, also deflated. Poetic. Interior house day. Moments later, Ray returns to his spot and increases his efforts.
And whose birthday is it today, then?
Ray looks at a couple of balloons positioned as his audience with somewhat smiling faces.
It's Isabel.
No response from the balloon audience. Ray becomes nervous.
What about some balloon tricks? You like balloons?
Oh no!
Mad thinking that Isabel joke wasn't in there.
It's mad that we came up with Isabel before we came up with the Isabel joke. Because I remember having a joke book. Well, my grandfather had a joke book when I was a kid. But Isabel necessarily riding on a bicycle. Love that joke. And I can't believe it's not in this version.
Like you said, how Isabel became full. That's crazy.
A balloon rolls over. Anxiety begins to strike Ray as he clumsily prepares a balloon and struggles to blow up. We hear children laughing and cheering as he gradually inflates the balloon, bigger and bigger. The children begin to cry, and suddenly Ray realizes the balloon, releases the balloon, causing it to fly across the room. It lands in a small glass of bourbon on the buffet table, prepared with ice, with a bottle by the side. Ray approaches the glass with hesitation and fear. He dips his finger into the drink and pulls out the balloon. He lifts it up and smells it. Again, that's more or less
all in there.
All in there. It's just the sort of voices and things.
We didn't have ice either.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't have ice. Which would have been an easy fix if we actually wanted ice in there.
Or maybe we did and we just got delayed, so yeah.
Because fun fact,
Yeah.
kids, ice when it gets hot turns into water.
Do you know, I never thought this would be an educational video. It's amazing.
This is Tomorrow's World. For people who are older than us will get that reference.
It's make a lesson. Right.
Okay, so now we've got another voiceover from Wife.
Yeah.
Which, are we saying the Claire thing?
Yeah.
Give them a bit of insight.
It makes us seem very unprofessional though, but...
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine. Well, no, because this is the first script and we developed it and we figured it out. And then we didn't.
And then we forgot we'd figured it out.
Yeah, so, and I'm proud of my joke, so I'm going to insert it here so that somebody hears it.
Oh, okay.
So initially, Ray's wife, we wanted to call Claire.
Yeah.
And then we held that idea all the way through until the end. Luckily, we never actually mentioned her name's Claire, because Colin's wife is also called Claire.
Maybe he had an affair.
Very
Affair
complicated.
with a Claire.
I wanted Ray's surname to be Voyant, so that his wife would be Clairvoyant.
Do you know what's quite annoying now? I'm almost certain not to like put us against it. I'm pretty sure I came up with that.
Did you?
And then you were like, oh, I came up with like as a joke, and you were like, oh, we should have that. I was like, no.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. No, I do remember that, but I was very attached to that
Clairvoyant.
joke. Clairvoyant's brilliant. But the fact that you would introduce it as Ray Voyant and then just leave it there and they wouldn't get it, like, or you wouldn't initially get it. And then if you're like, oh, his wife's Claire. Oh, his wife's Clairvoyant. Oh, that's funny. I like that.
Wonder why we left it out.
But anyway, we left. Ray's wife doesn't have a name because she's just a memory, and also because Claire is Colin's wife now. Yeah, you smelling bullshit. Anyway, we'll move on. But we just thought it'd be. This is what this is all about: is get the insights and all of our fuck ups along the way.
You still with us?
Still there?
I'm hardly.
Wow. How many of you had this morning? If I can smell it, the kids will too, especially Ben. Now,
There's something about, especially Ben.
Ben, it doesn't work.
Especially Ben. Especially Susie.
Well, no, because puppet wife, as we'll call her now. I did a lot of the voices.
Come here, puppet wife.
I think people are already starting to talk about our connection with puppets. I'll leave it there. But puppet wife, I did the voice for in the end, and I sort of tried to put a Welsh twang on it, and the amount of times we sort of could not control our laughter and corpsing when we were doing the line that's similar to this, but it's something like, oh, you've been drinking, haven't you?
Drinking again.
You've been drinking again, haven't you?
So can Susie.
If I can spell it, so can Susie. And I love the inflection on that, but it did get us a lot in recording. But I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it as puppet wife.
Okay.
How many of you had this morning? If I can smell it, the kids will too. Especially Betsy, it doesn't work. Especially Ben. Especially Susie. If I can spell it, so can Susie. I think it's the so can Susie. It's the S's. There's a poetry.
Should we move on?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, right.
Ray sticks out his tongue to lick the balloon. Odd.
Yeah, we just changed that to a smell.
Yeah, because I think that makes more sense.
I don't know, it would be quite funny if he just...
Sort of licks it.
Like a lizard.
Yeah, but stops, thank God for that. Grabs the bottle and glass and takes it out of the room. Again, we don't really have him get rid of it now, do we?
Yeah, we did. We shot it, but we just cut it.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Ray paces around the room on the phone.
On the phone. This is new territory. Yeah.
It's different.
Me again. Just wondering if you got my last message. Or the 27 before that. You'll be glad to know I'm back in the business. Well, more of a favour really, but it's a start.
An orange rolls into his foot. He bends down and notices one side is festering with mould, so he drops it in disgust.
Anyways, I hope you're well, and if you hear from Ben, give him my love. All the best from Zippo. Bye!
We hear distant ambulance sirens, so Ray promptly closes the curtains.
Right, that's an interesting bit. So we've got, again, we're trying to get this backstory and why Ray is here.
Yeah.
With the phone call
Who is he on the phone to?
I I assume his wife.
Right, so the wife's still in the picture in this
Still
version.
alive.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the orange thing it stayed in the script and it was shot.
It was shot, yeah.
It was him doing the tricks, and then he was doing the
old paper
bag trick, and then orange actually fell in it, and then I think it was meant to like fall and then break through the bag, but I think in reality it was just it fell to his feet, and then he looked at it and it had mold on one side.
Yeah.
Kind of like, Two-Face. And that was a couple of reasons. That was to make... Sorry, am I boring you?
Sorry.
This script, yes.
You're a bit, yeah.
It was a couple of reasons. One of them mainly to do with the idea of Susie kind of haunting him and something that would be out of the ordinary, an orange dropping from the sky. Don't expect that.
Yeah.
But also it was the sort of, very on the nose again, half-burnt face.
But again, I think
orange.
this just goes to show that our sort of storytelling for this has developed since the beginning.
Yeah.
Even though we shot it, and even though we were thinking about it for a while, if anyone's watching this and who wants to make films and things, or anything creative, make mistakes, or go along with an idea and visualize it at the end. Like, I think it was only once we had filmed it and we put it in, or we saw it in the edit, that we were like, no, that doesn't work.
See it through, I guess.
Yeah.
It took so many attempts as well to drop that goddamn
Oh god,
orange.
yeah. Oh, there's
Spent so much time.
There's footage of me dropping an orange onto our actor. Maybe we'll find that somewhere. But another interesting thing here, you got the orange, you got the phone call, you've got the ambulance siren.
Yeah.
Now the ambulance siren, there is a nice joke in the final film.
Yeah.
Which technically neither of us actually wrote.
We're sellouts, aren't we?
Yeah, I know this is not helping sort of sell ourselves as writers, but when we were in development the first time for filming, we had a different actor for Ray. He sort of very much got the sort of era of comedy that we were going for. And when he got to this bit in the script, he sort of just, again, offhandedly as himself, was like, oh, that reminds me of a joke I used to tell my son, and he's like, he's 30 now, and I still tell him, and he still rolls his eyes. Anytime you hear a siren, you go, oh, it'll never sell ice creams going at that speed. And I think we both sort of paused and we were like, that's really good. And yeah, obviously it's not in this version of the script, but I can't imagine a version of Make-A-Wish without that joke.
Yeah, there are some jokes there which you can't imagine it not being. But yeah, that scene's interesting. It's like an amalgamation of lots of different things that then are scattered throughout the final draft.
Yeah.
But
sure.
even the orange, it's fruitless. Alright, next scene.
Yeah, moving on. Interior house day, moments later. Ray, sat on the floor, attempts to do shadow puppets on the wall using an old torch. He can barely conjure a rabbit. That's quite funny. Why did we not do shadow puppets? Maybe because we did actual puppets in the end. I think shadow puppets might have been fun.
I mean, we haven't read all of it yet, but I think it just got replaced with the montage of tricks.
Oh, okay.
So he said, what's that, Isabel? No, it's not a rabbit. It's the dog from The Thing. Where's that bloody guide?
Ray hurries over to a suitcase, but is astonished to find it empty, apart from a match. Oh, that's quite ominous. I quite like that. He hears a strike of a match from across the room. With significant dread, slowly turns his face to the candle-lit cake. We hear screams, and Ray collapses to the floor in defeat.
No, stop! I can't do this, not again.
Figure, off screen. Daddy.
Yeah, so similar to how we set it up in a way, but more...
There's a little bit more...
More horror.
Yeah, more horror, and I think there's the same amount of tension, it's just done in a different way. Ray freezes in fear and looks the source at...
Looks at the source.
Looks at the source. Looks to the source of the voice. Under the table, covered by a cloth. Figure. Why do they call you Zippo, Daddy?
No. No.
No.
No, not today.
Figure off screen, commanding. Why do they call you Zippo?
No, stop. No more.
Oh, is Zippo upset?
No way is that figure not going to do the Zippo joke. After saying why they call you Zippo, why they call you Zippo, and then just leave it. Is that what we do? We just set up jokes and not do them?
Have we? Wait.
Like Isabel, and then we don't do anything with Isabel.
Ray is paralysed in terror as a hand holding a glass of black liquid reaches out from under the table and through the tablecloth. Again, we did that with puppets.
It was a struggle though. The whole coming out the table.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell the boys and girls what the black liquid was?
It's petrol, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's what
in the actual film. We didn't actually film
it's just paint. It's just black acrylic paint. Yeah, because we wanted to film coming from under Ben from under the table in this case. And in the end, I think because of timing and we just didn't get the right shot and we were panicking in the edit, our editor said that, we can get a real tight close-up and we can film it but on a different table as long as you got the right cloth. And
I think we could have done that.
I think we could have done that. I prefer what we do have though. I think it blurs those lines a lot better. Here, Dad, have a drink to calm your nerves. As the arm reaches out towards him, Ray recalls and shifts backwards on his arse until he collides with the sofa. The figure crawls out from under the table, prompting Ray to cover his eyes. He just hears the rattling of ice get colder. Oh, closer.
He's so... I can hear the ice getting colder. Fucking Superman.
How does ice get colder in a glass? It doesn't, because it gets closer.
Maybe it's really cold in that house.
maybe it's colder than freezing.
Colder than ice.
He's
dead.
Figure.
Twist.
Continue. He's in a morgue. Oh, that's a different film, isn't it? That's not what we're doing next. Or at all.
Make a morgue.
Make a morgue. Make a will.
Who?
Let's see what I start with. You know what today is, don't you? It's not just a birthday, but an anniversary. A 14-year anniversary. Ray continues to hide his guilt. Why won't you look at me, Zippo? It's my special day. I'm the special boy. I'm your special boy. Again, I think Sarah does a great job as Susie with what this becomes.
Yeah, and also we got rid of I'm the special boy.
Yeah, no. Well, because today's a special day for a special girl. You're a special girl.
Yeah,
and it's got a rhythm to it and it's got a sinister undertone. Pause. Aggressive. Fucking look at me, Dad. Maybe that's got a bit more bite. Or a different type of bite, maybe.
One underbite.
The figure grabs Ray's hand and peels them away from his face. Ray looks to see Ben Johnson, 23.
Sounds like a wrestler.
Ben Johnson, 23.
23! Half-burnt face! Wow, haunted! On the top rope!
Half-burnt face, wild, haunted, towering above him.
Ben?
Oh, so you do recognise me, despite the new haircut. Again, I don't know if that would have worked as a joke.
What's he got? Mohican?
Yeah.
Oh, he's bald. That would be good.
Yeah.
Shaven.
It's a good joke. It's again, it worked for the final. Ben chuckles and steps back to address Ray like an audience member. Now, boys and girls, why is Zippo called Zippo?
If we don't get this joke, I swear to God.
Ray looks around
Build
for
it up.
assurance like a helpless child. Ben pulls out a lighter and flicks it into life. Here's a good one. Is it really gone? That is amazing.
Unless he is right at the end or something.
Oh god. Here's a good one. What happened when the delusional drunk attempted his famous fire breathing trick?
Wow, that's really sad.
That is so on the fucking nose. Ray hears the incident in full. The children singing happy birthday, the sloshing of booze, the flick of a lighter, the burst of flames, the screaming. Ben, nobody? Ray is shell-shocked. Okay, here's another one. What happened to the burnt boy who grew up with no friends, divorced
It's like a
parents,
children's
and no
book.
future? Yeah, if we were to make a wish into a kid's book, this is how it would.
Yep.
Yeah, because this makes more sense for like a story.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes sense for the visual medium of film. Let me start that again. Okay, here's another one. What happened to the burnt boy who grew up with no friends, divorced parents, and no future? No response from Ray. Seriously? Well, I'll save us the exposition. You didn't. Spoiler alert. That was the exposition.
It's us trying to like be like, oh, if we acknowledge it, it's funny.
Yeah. If we're like, oh, we've told you it's
a little
exposition.
wink to the camera.
Yeah. You just put a hat on a hat on a hat at that point, really. Ben waves the drink in front of him. Ray takes a closer look at the black and oily contents. Drink it, Zippo.
No.
Why?
I've been sober for 3 weeks. I'm nearly at my next badge.
Oh, that's quite fun. Obviously, milestone, we do something with that instead, but at my next badge is fine. I got a badge. It was for impressive durability of limbs in prison. What? What does that mean?
I guess he's been beaten up in prison, I guess.
Yeah, why has he gone to prison? For being burnt? You don't get imprisoned for being disfigured, I hope.
Why did he go to prison?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll find out.
Push his glass, what, in the next page and a half? Push his glass forward. Drink.
I'm sorry, it was an accident.
Ben theatrically rolls back his eyes, unimpressed.
What can I do to make things right?
Ben crouches down in front of Ray and softly smiles. Politely. You can drink the fucking drink. That's clunky as well. Ben jolts the glass in front of Ray's face.
Whoops!
What? And he gets lighter.
Yeah.
He does the fire breathing.
Yeah. Look, Dad, I'm like you. Oh no! I put my other half of my face off.
After a moment of hesitation, Ray grabs the drink and downs it.
Damn,
okay, so
that's very
show
different.
it.
Yeah, but not only show it, Ray does it.
Yeah.
In the script now, Susie forces him to drink, basically chokes him. In this one, he's like, "Yeah, I deserve it."
Yeah. Which, very different interpretation, very different ending.
Interpretation. It's us. We wrote it. Interpretation. Up the bastard.
No, but I'm saying we've reinterpreted the idea into a different idea. Ben, softly, zip, zip, Zippo knows. Oh, I quite like that. Interior house day.
Yeah, I think that's his
later.
catchphrase in it. So.
Zip, zip, zip knows. Zippo knows. Oh, I didn't.
It was earlier.
Oh, okay.
I seeded it.
Oh, well seeded. Claire enters the house. Claire off screen. Only me, Ray. You ready?
Me.
Claire enters the living room and sees Ben, dressed as Zippo, stood with his back to her, stretching out a balloon. You all ready, Zippo? Zippo gives an energetic thumbs up, but continues hiding his face.
Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's very weird. That would look like this, which is odd. Claire, fab, shouting to the door. Come on, kids. Exterior alleyway day. We hear the distant laughs of the children as we look to see Ray slumped dead against the wall of an alley with a fuel can beside him. End.
So that stuck in the script.
Well, all the way through.
All the way through. And we did film a studio version of him up against a wall.
Yeah.
It just didn't work. So then we were like, right, do we need to reshoot it? And then by the time we did all the puppet sequences and all that, we were like, oh, it'd be quite nice. I think you said it'd be quite nice if the puppet was... Puppet Ray.
Yeah, it was a big back and forth though, because...
Yeah, it was, yeah. Even I think when we were working on the puppets, we were like, you know...
We still wanted live action, yeah, because you were very much set against it had to be real life Ray.
Yeah.
At the end, which I understood.
Let us know in the comments which you prefer.
Yeah. But I quite liked the eeriness of leaving it, and then obviously it goes into the...
Yeah, it works nicely with the whole VHS thing now.
Yeah.
It works...
With the credits, I love those credits.
Yeah.
And
so you love when it ends?
Yeah.
The best part of Make-A-Wish is when it ends.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I like when it hints to one of our future projects. I like the fact that we've got that.
It's kind of crazy how, because I think the next draft is much similar to how it was, because we didn't do that many drafts, but how much is different in this? Like, there's no big speech about, like, it's just exposition dumped, and it's just like, you know, we don't have our amazing set of jokes about, you know...
The Zippo Hippo joke's gone.
That is gone.
Or it's it wasn't there, and now it's there. So
I've not been feeling too hot.
Yeah, all of that. I think I need to find the right match.
That old flame of yours, that got cut. Actually.
That old flame got cut, and I'm so glad it did, because that was when we were really like hamming it up.
For context, that's when during the monologue section she says about his wife. What about your mother? And she's like, oh, that old flame of yours. Of course, we realised a bit late actually that we killed the wife.
What have we learned? I think we've learned that doing draft is good, and developing an idea is the way to go. It did remind me reading this of like the first time we sat down to write.
Yeah.
And I think we've developed a lot since then, as co-writers, as co-creators.
But I think the essence of the idea is here.
Oh yeah, like definitely the seed of the idea is there, and the 13 months post watered and gave sunlight to the seed.
Oh right, yeah.
And the flower you see before you is Make-A-Wish.
Photosynthesis and shit.
From a Zippo seed to a Make-A-Wish tree.
I don't like that. But yeah, so anyway, that was the original draft. We hope you at least were somewhat amused by reading through this very first. We did a year ago, which is crazy. There was probably us thinking the film would be out in a few months. Oh, how naive we were.
Yeah, I think we thought September. But yeah, thanks again for sticking around if you have. And if you haven't, we don't blame you.
No.